Okay, let's dive into this. What if tomorrow all the money in the world just disappeared? I'm not just talking about cash, but the very idea of it. It's a wild thought experiment, so let's really explore what that world would actually look like. So, what would really happen? This isn't just a financial crash. We're talking about a total reset of everything. Would society rebuild into some kind of cooperative utopia, or would it all just collapse into chaos? Well, the answer? It's a bit more complicated than that. First up, the most obvious thing. All physical money is just gone. Coins, banknotes, the whole lot of it just vanishes. That tangible symbol of value we all know, it evaporates in an instant. And hey, with no cash, what's the point of banks? So they disappeared too. Your savings account, your credit card, your mortgage, all of it gone overnight. The entire financial infrastructure we rely on every single day just ceases to exist. Now, this is where it gets really personal. Your job no longer pays you an income. The entire concept of working for a wage becomes totally obsolete. So, what's your motivation to even get out of bed in the morning? And finally, nothing has a price tag. A car, a loaf of bread, a house, their value is no longer measured in dollars or euros or yen. How do you even begin to decide what anything is worth? Okay, so without a universal way to pay for things, humanity's first instinct would be to go back to our oldest system of trade, just simple bartering. You'd have to exchange goods and services directly with people. But this creates a massive, and I mean massive, immediate problem. And that problem has a fancy name, the double coincidence of wants. It sounds a little academic, I know, but it's a huge practical issue. For any trade to actually work, you need to have a perfect, simultaneous alignment of needs. And in a complex society, that's pretty much impossible. And this breaks it down perfectly. Let's say a baker needs shoes, so he offers some fresh bread to the shoemaker. Simple enough, right? Wrong. The shoemaker doesn't need bread today. What she really wants is a chair. So the trade fails. The entire system just grinds to a halt right there because their needs don't line up. It's just fundamentally inefficient. So, because that kind of large-scale bartering just can't work, society is forced to radically restructure itself. The global economy we know would completely shatter, and we'd see this massive shift towards smaller, self-sufficient, and super cooperative local communities. Why? Because survival would absolutely depend on it. This new world would be built around small, really tight-knit communities. Villages would pretty much become the center of everything. People would have no choice but to pool their labor and share resources, because trying to go it alone would be impossible. Your neighbor is no longer just your neighbor. They're a vital part of your survival team. And this forces a profound change in why we work. The motivation is no longer a paycheck. Instead, you work to make sure your community survives, to build a reputation as someone who's valuable, and to contribute to the collective good. A doctor heals people not to earn a salary, but to keep the whole village healthy. So here's the crucial point. Your value as a person would no longer be measured by what's in your bank account. It would be measured by your practical skills and how useful you are to the group. Are you a good farmer, a skilled builder, a talented teacher? That's what would determine your status. Zooming out, this could evolve into something called a resource-based economy. In this world, technology and automation become absolutely critical. Without salaries, you'd need AI and advanced systems to manage and distribute resources, making essentials like food and shelter basic rights for everyone. But this presents a fascinating paradox. You have the potential for this incredible abundance for all, right alongside the risk of a new, highly centralized technological control system. Now, all of this might be starting to sound a little utopian, a world built on cooperation and contribution. But here's the hard truth. Just because money is gone, it doesn't mean power and hierarchy disappear with it. Oh no, it just changes its shape. The old division of rich versus poor, that would get replaced by a new one, the people who control the resources and the people who depend on them. You see, the power dynamic is still there, it just has a new name. In this moneyless world, these are the new currencies of power. Real influence belongs to whoever controls the farms, the water sources, the energy grids. Or, in a more advanced society, whoever controls the data and the automated systems that manage everything. Conflict doesn't end, it just gets fought over these new levers of control. And this brings us right to the core of the issue. We can redesign our economic system all we want, but can we redesign ourselves? The fundamental things that drive human behavior are far, far older and deeper than money.
At the end of the day, we're all driven by these deep-seated needs. We seek status. We want recognition for what we do. We crave a sense of purpose. And we desire power and security. Money was always just one tool, a really effective one, mind you, for satisfying these urges. Take it away, and people will simply find new ways to compete for them.
And this is really the central takeaway. You can swap out the entire economic operating system, but you're still running it on the same human hardware. Our fundamental nature, our ambition, our competitiveness, our desire for influence, that stuff remains constant. So let's pull all this together and look at a final balance sheet. What are the potential upsides and the almost certain downsides of this strange, moneyless world? On the one hand, yeah, you could have a world with greater equality and cooperation, a world of shared survival. But on the other hand, you'd very likely see brutal conflicts over resources, intense new power struggles, and huge battles to control the very systems that keep society running. Which leads us to this definitive conclusion. Money is a system of power, absolutely, but it's not the only one. Getting rid of it doesn't get rid of our deep instinct to create hierarchies and structures of control. And so maybe we've been asking the wrong question all along. Maybe it isn't about whether we can live without money. The deeper, more challenging question is this: is it even possible for us as human beings to create a society that is truly, fundamentally free of any hierarchy at all? And that's something to think